Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
Today,
Bob.
Brad, you want to talk about drop foot, and we have some of the best exercises for walking normal. This is really, you guys are going to like this. Brad has really come up, is it in your idea?
Well, part of it is, but yeah, I went to a course, and this is a really helpful and useful idea for therapists as well as people for you at home who you don't have a lot of money to spend and you got to get a loved one to, or
family
member to improve. This is something you
I love this idea.
Yeah,
this is really cool.
That's actually going to come up at the end. We need to go through a little explanation so you get a good education on what we're going into.
Right, and by the way, if you're new to our channel, I see a couple new people that wandered in.
There are two.
Please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day.
Excellent.
And please take a second to also like us on Facebook.
Right.
Because we provide free products there sometimes and lots of other cool stuff.
Sure.
All right.
Let's go to work.
All right. You want Napoleon?
Yeah, let's get Napoleon over. Foot drop. What is foot drop?
Bonaparte.
If you have foot drop, you know what it is. I'm going to just show you a little demonstration. Yeah, watch my left foot. If I come forward and you hear someone walking, and they plop with that one foot, and it's a functional foot drop. They can actually walk with it, but it puts them at risk for fall. And some people, they end up dragging because they don't even have enough ankle strength to lift the toe up. So actually, it's not the whole foot dropping. It's mostly just the toes. They're not pulling up. We call that dorsiflexion. And we need to have the anterior tib muscle, which is right here, pull that ankle up so that when you swing through, it doesn't drag just like I demonstrated. So
it's a very dangerous condition because it can result in falls very easily.
Exactly.
So especially after you've had a stroke. A lot of times people, after they've had back surgery or if they've had a sciatica problem that got worse, that's when they usually time is for surgery, is when they start, it is affect the nerve that is affecting the dorsiflexion.
Right. So if we look at Leopold, I just wanted to go through a little bit here. Napoleon, whatever, old bonehead up here. Oh, watch your Gumby's falling off, Bob. Can you fix that?
Sure.
So I don't want them dropping on the floor in front of everyone. So this orange tape represents the anterior tibia.
That's pink tape.
Pink tape, whatever it is. That's a color issue. And it connects up to the front of the ankle here, and when the muscle belly, which is here, just watch how this works. It pulls up, and that's how we get dorsiflexion.
So yeah, the muscles that actually lift your foot are coming up from the calf area here, basically.
Yep.
The shin and the calf.
Yep. So we need to come up with something to assist that muscle, to wake it up, get it stronger, and that's what we're going to show you.
Yeah. The problem might be up in the head. I mean, in that after you've had a stroke,
you've got a problem in the head.
But we're trying to what we're trying to do is there's if that part of the brain has died, we're trying to engage other parts of the brain to come in and help out and help get that foot drop, to no longer be there.
This could be from a low back problem as well. So it may not be from higher centers of the brain, but it could be from a nerve problem in the low back as well.
As we already mentioned.
So, Bob, you want to show them some ankle dorsiflexion?
Sure.
So first of all, we want to get this muscle to strengthen. Okay. So if Bob is going to strengthen that muscle, you can just try and do it actively. If you don't have the strength to do that even, which is oftentimes the case, but you have a little movement. Right now I've got a patient, he can just move it slightly, about a quarter of an inch, half an inch, but we need some strength. You can use a cane.
And you can just hook it right on, especially a flat-handled cane here works really well.
Yep.
You can just hook it on the bottom here. And what I like about this, Brad, is you can pull it up like this.
Yep.
And then one of the first things I try to have people do is, can you hold it? Or just slowly lower it down? Because a lot of times people can't maybe go this direction, or maybe they have a little bit, they can pull it up, and then you can go ahead, try to hold it, try to hold it, try to hold it, try to hold it.
And let it down slowly.
Let it down slowly. So pull it up, let it down slowly, try to hold it up.
And when you hear Bob doing his little chant there, that's what therapists do.
Yeah.
They'll say hold, slow, slow, slow. All these repeated verbal cues can help the muscle kick in.
I think the other thing that works out good, Brad, and I don't want to take too much time on this, Brad, but even if you're just laying down like this or sitting down like this, just see, you're trying to connect other parts of the brain if it is after a stroke, and you're just trying to get a little bit of movement. And sometimes remember how we took even a straw and taped it on
Sure.
there, Brad?
Yeah. So you got a visual.
Yep, you put a colored straw on there, and you're just trying to watch that and say, get some movement, get some movement.
Right.
You know? So that's a good starting point.
That would be biofeedback.
Right.
Visual biofeedback.
Yep.
The other thing that works well is if you have a wobble board. Therapists in the clinic always have a wobble board. Typically, people at home don't. All you need is something to give some mechanical advantage. You can just take a soup can. Oh, I got some organic garbanzo beans here. That'll probably help out a little bit. But you put your foot, and it works better with a shoe, so you got a firm sole, and then you can use that to start.
Oh, sure, give you a little leverage
You
there.
get a little leverage, and you roll. This works better on carpeted floor versus tile like this because it's a little slippery.
That's a good exercise, Brad.
Yeah.
I like that. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah,
Let's have to engage this one.
and I didn't even get this one from the course. This
You
I
came
thought
up with
of.
this
Yeah,
one?
Yeah.
All right, we'll call this the Heineck technique.
Yeah, you could use if you got a dumbbell. That works pretty well too, and you can work that. That actually works a little bit better.
One thing, Brad, going back to even maybe the use of the cane, even a little bit of this reminds me is that with foot drop, the muscles start to tighten up on you.
Sure.
So you want to make sure that you are stretching the foot too. And the cane always works well for that, doesn't it, Brad?
Right.
You can just pull towards you and give a good stretch.
Right.
You can also do it with a towel. or a
If you
sheet.
got someone that wants to help you at home,
Yep.
this is a good way, a good manual stretch. This is the right way to do it as far as I'm concerned. But Bob's going to show you with his sheet, which I don't like the sheet at all, but
Yeah,
it
Brad,
works.
Or a belt. You can
Or a
wear-
belt, yep.
and you can pull
Anything where you
forward.
can pull like
Give a
that.
good stretch because you want to make sure you're maintaining that full range if you're trying to get some strength back. 'cause it's gonna be-
Exactly.
you're going to be fighting that also.
Yep. Good
So-
point, Bob.
All right, where are we at now, Brad?
Bob,
So the
now I
can
want to
method?
start. Let's say we're at the point now where you do have some active range. You can pull it up, but it's not enough so you can walk normally. Now, what people, a therapist or doctor might say, oh, well, maybe we're thinking about AFO, which is a plastic device like this.
Ankle foot orthosis.
Right, and that's going to hold your foot up. Let's put this one on.
Well, here, Brad, why don't you give me the other one, actually?
This
That
one?
This one, actually.
The ankle foot orthosis holds the foot up. They work really well to keep your foot from dragging so you don't have the problem with tripping. The problem is if you're making progress,
It's doing the work for you.
right, it's doing
Yeah.
the work and it's not going to allow you to progress anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to get strong by using one of these.
Particularly if you get a custom AFO. These are really expensive, a custom one. They're going to be $500-$700.
Oh, at least.
And that's a last case resort. When you cannot function and
Right.
you cannot get progress with it, then you go with
Yeah,
it.
we'd rather have you have that and not fall.
Right.
But if you're still trying to gain back strength, you may want to hold off on getting one
Right.
and try this instead, what
Right.
Brad has upcoming here. But yeah, this was one off the shelf, and you can see you just slip the shoe over the top then, but it helps hold the foot up.
Right, it's not going to fall down, allowing
Right.
that toe to drag
Yeah.
and get that fall risk going. Okay, so Bob, what I want to do is my first little tidbit is they're going to use some TheraBand. This is one thing you have to have TheraBand. It can't be TheraTubing. The first simple thing
When it
is
says TheraBand, it's actually a stretch band. It could be,
Yeah.
TheraBand is one of the brand names.
right.
So,
But what I'm saying is it has to be a band. It can't be the tubing.
sure.
A tubing, stretch tubing will not work for this, and you'll see why in a little bit. You tie a knot in one like this, then you hook that. You got to have a shoe on. It's not going to work barefoot. A shoe with a sole, and you're just going to go around the leg like this, and that becomes
Your
an-
AFO, you're kind of your AFO, isn't it?
anterior tib. Yep.
Yeah.
And so when you're walking, and I've done this with a number of patients, that helps pull their foot up. So now we're strengthening other muscles in the leg because usually it's not just that muscle. There's some other muscles that are involved with
Yeah,
the
after a
gait
stroke,
problem.
quite often the hip flexors are
Right.
weak too. So.
And if you do have, and if you use this and you're still having problems and that leg is dragging through and up in here, then we go to the next step. And this one is the granddaddy. This is a beautiful.
Well, this is one, Brad, too, that what you just were showing there. A lot of people do this. They also back knee.
Right, hyperextend the knee.
Yep, they're walking like this. They slide forward, and then they go like this.
Yeah. So
like that.
then we're going to
So
go to this
We're
next.
going to go to this next one that solves a lot of problems.
Right. Therapists out there watching, I think you're going to love this if you haven't used it before. People at home, be watch carefully. You might have to repeat it a few times. Get a nice, 5-inch wide exercise band. You're going to double it up, and the height of it should be about chin level or a little higher. Okay, if you double it up, it's only this tall, it won't be long enough. And then you mark where it's halfway. You can see the black mark on here? That's midpoint. Okay, now it's important for that so you get this on right, otherwise you're going to have problems down the line. You put that black mark down, your foot on the black mark. Can you help me, Bob, here?
Yep.
I had no problem with this before when we weren't videoing. There, I'm going to put my foot on there, so there's no twists.
Hold it up there for a second, Brad, just to show how long this is.
Yeah, there we go. So without the stretch, it's just long, we can stretch. And you want to do a few arm exercises.
Just go all the way up once here, just to hold it up there. There you
Okay,
go.
there we go. Now, you're going to cross, not once, but twice. It'll work if you only do it once, but it works a little better with twice. See down at my foot? I got the crisscross. Now we're going to cross behind the knee. And you'll see this once I get it on, why we're doing it behind the knee. And then we're going to cross again over the thigh. And I have tension on this. Not a lot, but about half tension. It'll vary from person to person.
And now you're going around the waist?
Around the waist. Okay. And then, just like you have a belt, you're going to knot this up, but not too don't knot it up too much.
You won't get it unloose. Right.
So there's a cross above the ankle, a cross behind the knee, and then it crosses again here at the hip. And I want this up a little higher so it gets onto that hip flexor.
Sure.
So people with a stroke, that CVA, this is really a key area for them. They're going to have, let me get my knot on here a little bit. Usually you're going to use a walker or a cane. And now, when they walk, the bottom loop is going to help dorsiflex so the toe doesn't drag. That's going to help pull that up. The cross here is going to help prevent that hyperextension that Bob was talking about. And the force here from the strap is going to help the hip flexor
move
pull forward. So we're getting 3 benefits, not only the drop foot, but the hyperextension and the hip. And it really is a nice device, and it helps through, and it gives that full feeling. It's like when you put a brace on, Bob, things feel better. This is like a whole leg brace.
Yeah, I can't wait to try this, actually.
Yeah.
I've got a patient right now even.
It is really fun.
This is really a good tip, Brad.
So again, use this with walking. Obviously, you're not going to leave it on all day long, but for a 30-minute session, it'll work out fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Brad, I think, you just proved the theory that we're not just pretty.
Yeah, we're pretty ugly.
No, we're
handy.
Handy and helpful.
Right.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
This is a helpful hint.
Yeah. If your spouse thing doesn't find you handsome, they'll find you handy.
That's right.
I got that from Red Green.
Red Green. You stole that one.
Yeah, I stole it.
All right, thanks for watching.